Hello, everyone, and welcome to MasterExcelNow. And today we are going to go back and dive into old memories when we were young. Remember the game of rock, paper, and scissors that we used to play? So we are going to recreate that today using Excel formulas and have some fun with it. And before I do that, do leave me a comment if you were an avid player for rock, paper, and scissors and leave the name of your best friend that you played with. So let's begin. On screen, you see that I have already created the game, and let's go ahead and make some changes here before we know how to make the game. So paper and paper, it's a draw. Rock and rock, draw. Scissor and paper, user one wins because user one got scissor. So the system here is using a choice made by a user input, and the computer is choosing a random number between rock, paper, and scissor and giving the output for it. Based on this, the condition is telling whether the user is winning or is it a draw. Now let's go ahead and recreate this. And in this sheet, we are going to go ahead and make our rock, paper, and scissors game. I have carried the format that I had here to the new sheet. Now in this sheet, first we are going to do is enter the information that we need to use. So rock, paper, and scissors. And then I'm also going to call the images here. So for images, I've already downloaded the images for rock, paper, and scissors, and I'm going to use those. So I'll go to insert, and where it says place picture, I'm going to use place in cell. Rock, then we go ahead, place paper, and then we go ahead and place scissors. Now we've got the basic values done. We will now start with placing the user choice and the computer choice. The user choice is where the user will choose one of these. So for that, the easiest way is select the cell where you want the information to be selected, and then go to data, click on data validation, choose list, source, and then select these three, rock, paper, and scissor, and click OK. So when you click on the drop down, you have these three available. Next, I want the image that is based on this selection. For that, I'm going to use the if function. So we'll say equals to if bracket open, and then we are going to say cell E3 is equal to, right, this, then it should call this, comma. Again, we are going to use if bracket open, cell E3 is equal to cell B2, which is paper. Then we should call the image for paper, comma. If bracket open, again E3 is equal to scissor, which is B5, comma, call scissor. And then close the brackets carefully and then hit enter. So right now it's a false. I don't want it to say false. So what I'm going to do is in the last where it says C5, I'm going to say comma and then double quotes without anything written in between and hit enter. This represents nothing. This represents null. Okay. Same I'm going to do for computer choice, but here I'm going to use a formula. The formula that I'm going to use for computer choice is first I have to check if the user has made any input. If there is no input for user, the computer choice will be blank. And if they have made a choice, then it will choose a random information from these three, and then the result will be taken into account. So again, we are going to start our formula with a equals to, then we are going to say if bracket open. First, let's check if the user input is free, as in empty or not. So I'm going to say this is less than and greater than symbol for not equal to, then double quotes, nothing written in between. This represents checking of blank cell. Once we've done that, then I'm going to say index. So what index does is index gives or assigns a number to all these three in order, which is 1, 2, 3. So rock is 1, paper is 2, scissor is 3 by default. Then we're going to use the function called RANDBETWEEN And the choices we have to make is 1, 2, and 3. So the minimum number is 1 and the highest is 3. So the range is 1 and 3, brackets closed. Again, I here also, I would want to go ahead and place that if there is nothing, it should be blank, right? So I would say comma, double quotes, and brackets closed and enter. So there is nothing. If I choose something here, for example, paper, paper, it's a draw, but here the image isn't coming. Now I'm going to do the formula here again, which is equals to if this, which is our cell G2 equals to B, G3 is equal to B3, then comma, I want to call the image for rock, comma, again an if function opens up. If this is equal to this, comma, I want the paper image, which is this, comma, again an if function, bracket open again. This is equal to this, comma, the image of scissor, comma, then double quotes so that there is nothing if it is blank. And then we start closing our brackets and hit enter. So far, we've done great. So we can make changes here. We can select rock, paper, right? Then we go to paper, rock. So it's working fine. Now, everything is good. Now I want to declare my winner. So the game has only two outputs, either a draw or a win, whichever be the case. So for that to happen, I'm going to start with a nested if here. And I'm going to say equals to if in bracket open, my cell first is draw. I want to make sure both of them, if they have the same image, it's a draw, right? So this is equal to this. Then we say draw and done. The next is I want to define the winning goal, the first user winning. So if the user one makes the right choice over the computer, he is the winner. If not, then computer is the winner. So the right choice is if he selects rock and the computer has scissor, user wins. User selects paper, computer has rock, user wins. User has scissors and computer has paper, user wins. These are three conditions. So again, I'm going to start with an if function, but this time I'm going to use or, which represents all the conditions within this bracket that I'm opening up should be checked. And if one of them is true, then the user wins. Then we start with another bracket for or, and then we say and. Because I'm checking two different cells. I'm checking the user choice and the computer choice, right? So for the user choice, I'm going to select the cell E3 is equal to, let's say, rock, right? Comma. Then my cell G3 is equal to scissor. So this is a winning condition. So if the user has rock and the computer has scissors, the user wins, comma, another and, bracket open. Again, we'll select the user first, is equal to, we've done rock. Now we do paper, comma, G3 is equal to rock, brackets closed. So this is the second condition. Paper wins over rock, comma, the last condition, and if user equals to scissors, comma, and the computer is equal to paper. So these are my three conditions where the user will win. So if any of these is true, because only one of them can be true, then we say user one wins. Close it, comma. If none of them is true, then computer wins. Close the brackets and you see user one wins. Now, usually this doesn't come up like this, so I'm going to quickly select this, right click, format, and here when you select it goes to format cells, alignment. Where it says horizontal, I've selected center across selection. I'm not using a merge cell. So now you see it says user one wins. Let me minimize this. Let's go ahead and make a quick check. Scissors, it's a draw. Rock and scissors, user one wins. Paper and scissors, computer wins. So this is working great and can do good time fun when you're working with the computer against you. I'm also going to tell you how to make this work in where the sheet is worked and shared with a friend of yours. Both of you can make a user choice and both of you get to know who the winner is. So let's do that. So let me quickly make a save here. And here is what we are going to do. I'm going to right click this and say move or copy on my sheet. And then I'm going to say new book and I'll say create a copy and click OK. Perfect. So I've got the entire sheet, the entire game in a new workbook. Now I'm going to go to view and where it says arrange all, click on it and choose vertical and click OK. So now I can see both the sheets. Here it is user one, we'll keep it like that. In this sheet, I'm going to change it to user two, right? Now, we don't need the computer at all, so I can go ahead and delete it. So I can select a column and delete it. So it'll change to a reference. Don't worry, we'll fix it. And we delete this as well. Let me zoom out a little so that it's visible and we'll make changes later. In this sheet as well, I'm going to delete this. So don't worry about the reference. We are going to make a change there as well. So everything is done. Now, we can make a choice here and we can make a choice here, which is working fine. We just need to fix our formula. So we're going to fix formula in one, and in the other one, we're just going to call a reference. So let's first call a reference, which is easier. So I go to my second sheet for user two, and I say equals to, and then I click my cell reference here, which is G3. So whatever comes here will show here. So this is done. Now I have to make a check here in this formula. So let's expand it. Wherever it says reference, right? It's cell number E3, right? So wherever it says reference, I'm going to delete this and select my choice from the sheet. So if you see now, let me expand it a little bit. If you see now, it says game.xls sheet one, and then it gives me a number. So I will select this entire thing, copy this, go to my next reference, delete and paste. Then I will go to my next reference, delete and paste. And the last one, delete and paste. So far, so good. Perfect. And hit enter. Now let's go back to our original view, minimize this. So both of them have chosen paper. It's a draw. Now let me choose, let's say, rock. Rock versus paper, computer wins. So we'll fix that, don't worry. So let's go ahead and fix that first. So where it says computer wins, it will say user two wins. User two wins, right? So what beats paper is scissors. So user one wins. Now you can play with your friend and see the winning in real time. I hope you like the game. You can do more with this. Instead of using the names, you can use the images as well. So leave your comment about the game and how you like the video. Thank you. Have a nice day.